After 5 days of unadulterated bliss at Darjeeling, when we hit the road to Gangtok, we had no inkling about the fabulous attractions that lay ahead. The enthusiastic driver, in his gorgeous red shirt, came to pick us up from the hotel much before the appointed time. The bright white Maruti Omni offered more than adequate space for our family of three. As Darjeeling receded from our sight, we found ourselves surrounded by all shades of green emanating from majestic landscapes on every side. Soon, the view of a river enthralled us. The river did not part company with us and ran at different levels from our vehicle, now in its majestic form very close to the road, and the next moment far below, like an ordinary stream. River Tista engaged us in this game of hide and seek for quite some time, until our vehicle stopped at a place where other similar tourist vehicles had parked. Go and enjoy the scenery, urged our driver, and directed us to a small height beside the road. We were astounded at the divine view of the river flowing down the valley far below, nature in its pure and primeval form. How different is this from human nature? I was pondering when I got a peep into the devious and calculating side of man. The drivers of the parked vehicles, meanwhile, had struck a deal amongst themselves. Drivers from Darjeeling would return home with passengers of the vehicles coming from Gangtok, and tourists like us will shift to the Gangtok bound vehicles. Three cheers for the cunning ways of man. We did not regret the swap. Our new driver Suraj Gurung turned out to be far more polished, cool-headed, and resourceful. We would later engage him for our local sightseeing tour of Gangtok. The highway around the rolling foothills is very well maintained, and you were reminded at regular intervals that Border Roads Organization BRO is in charge. If the alpine trees and the grand Himalayan heights constantly reminding about the smallness of man do not make you philosophical, the messages displayed by BRO will. These road signs brood on subjects like life and death, the virtues of alertness, patriotism, and the fruits of perseverance, and so on. We found it just the right kind of setting to partake of the soulful numbers from the Biswa Mohan Bhatt album Music for the Soul, which we had purchased at Darjeeling. After the Tista Bridge, one finally parts company with the beautiful river and heads for Sikkim. The border gates, with Chinese style lofty arches, announce that you are about to enter the new state. Foreigners have to present their documents to get an entry. The landscape in Sikkim is slightly different from what we had left behind. The swanky campus of Sikkim Manipal Engineering College affords very great view from a distance. Rangpo is a small town, looking gracious with its brightly painted modern houses. Few military bases fall on the way, wearing smart looks in the fabulous natural setting. We overtake a lonely schoolboy in his uniform walking in the forlorn road, with no school or hamlet in sight. Where has he come from, and where is he going? Sikkim's roads are empty. So are the fields and foothills. City folks struggling for their own little spaces, beware. The charming isolation of Sikkim may overwhelm you.